This is Joe Freudenberger, CEO of Oak Bend Medical Center, coming to you with another Cup of Joe. We're going to talk about some healthcare topics that are near and dear to all of our hearts and halfway understood by most of us, including myself. Today, we're going to talk about chronic illnesses, of which I have several. As our guest here today, Rhonda Mayfield, our Chief Nursing Officer, knows, because she's always telling me what I should be doing to manage my chronic illnesses. So, Rhonda, let's start off and tell us what is a chronic illness in terms that even I can understand, please.
Sure. So when you think of the human body, there's really, it's broken up. When people get sick, it's broken up to two separate buckets, if you will. So one's acute, and then another is chronic. So when you think of something that's acute, you think of like a respiratory tract infection where you can take medication and you can get rid of it very, very quickly.
Like a bad case of the flu or something like that.
100%, exactly.
Okay.
When you think of chronic conditions, those are things that you have to manage over the course of your entire lifespan.
Like asthma.
Asthma.
We're talking respiratory.
Absolutely. Now you can go into a phase where you might be in remission or you might have trouble with it, and that's because you're doing a really good job of maintaining it with your doctors, right?
Okay.
But then if you're not able to maintain it, then it can cause even other conditions that make it even worse. So let's take hypertension or high blood pressure, for instance.
Okay.
So a lot of folks don't know that if that goes uncontrolled, it could impact your kidneys, and it can damage your kidneys to where then you have chronic kidney disease up to the point where you could even go on dialysis.
That's not good.
Right.
I've heard dialysis is really rough on the human body.
It's not a fun thing. I love that we have it, because otherwise these patients wouldn't live on the planet that we get to walk on. But if you're not able to maintain and work with your healthcare providers and have a really good working relationship with them to maintain it, then the unfortunate reality is that it's going to compound other systems in your body, and then you're going to get sicker. You're not going to get better in any way, form, or fashion.
So if you're like the typical guy who just says, I just need to suck it up and move on, a chronic condition, even though you may be able to tolerate it today, for example, high blood pressure, which is kind of a silent killer, tomorrow it could become much more significant. So it's not the time to be a tough guy when it comes to managing chronic conditions. Am I describing that right?
Absolutely.
And it can affect my family?
Oh, yeah.
People around me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's way too much of a burden for me, I'll tell you that. It's my burden to carry, but now you're making it everybody's burden. So have you been touched by chronic conditions personally or within your family? And tell us a little bit, if you're willing to,
Sure.
What does that look like and how does it affect everybody?
Sure. So the chronic condition that I mentioned earlier was high blood pressure. So my husband, he's my best friend in life. He was diagnosed probably 25 years ago. And so he was in denial for a lot of it. And the doctor,
guy.
Exactly, right? Hard-headed. I know and love him. I'm good. And his father actually passed away at an early age at 58 from a heart attack from uncontrolled hypertension as well. So as he got a little bit older and he started recognizing that, hey, I've got headaches, I don't feel good, I feel sluggish. He went back to the doctor again, and they put him on blood pressure medication. But then he got sick and had to end up in our ER here at Jackson Street. And they found out that he had chronic kidney disease.
Oh, Lord.
And so all of these years that he went unchecked with high blood pressure, now it's impacted his kidneys. And so now he has to have diet restrictions and all sorts of things that he can't just normally live. Whereas if he would have done what he was supposed to 20 or 25 years ago and maintained that blood pressure, it wouldn't have impacted him now. And then you're the same way. You're a little hard-headed too.
Oh, me?
A little.
Oh, no.
A little bit.
You must be thinking about somebody else.
Talk about some of your stuff that's been going on.
What do you want to talk about? My digestive challenges, my chronic arthritis, my back pain. I mean, I got it. And, I'm sure high blood pressure is coming. It's not there yet. But, there's all sorts of challenges that I have. I've had to live with for my digestive issues. I've had to live with for 30 years. So, when you get them under control, it's a lot, your life becomes a lot better, at least from my standpoint.
It doesn't control you,
right.
and it doesn't tell you what you can,
right.
Right. That's good.
Right. So, well, good. So let's pivot into what is Oak Bend doing. We talk about, for example, I think I heard a statistic: 92 or 93% of women feel like they're not heard when they go see their doctor.
Right.
So, what are we doing as an organization to help people be heard, to manage their chronic conditions, things of that nature?
So the main thing is finding providers and nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, and physicians that align with what our community needs. Gotcha. And we are so blessed here to have a great group of med staff that align with that. They love human beings. So Dr. Stammann and Dr. Tong and Shayla, our nurse practitioner specifically, they are so good. I know personally because I utilize that clinic.
My wife does too.
I love it. I love them. They are so patient with me. I ask a lot of questions, even
Not you.
Yeah,
oh,
just a few.
That's
just
such a surprise.
And even though I've been a nurse for 26 years and I'm very well versed in healthcare, I still, when I hear things or see things or what have you, I still have tons of questions that I need answered. Right. They are so patient with me. And so now I'm at the age where we're going through, a little thing called perimenopause. So that's a lot of fun. And so
I wouldn't know about that.
One day you wake up, Laura does though.
Yeah, I bet you
One day you wake up and you don't really even recognize yourself, right?
Oh.
You act different, you look different, you sleep different. Okay. And so those ladies have been so good and
maybe
patient.
I am going through perimenopause because I've had days like that.
For sure. Menopause,
okay.
Yes. But they're very patient, and they've got tons of tricks up their sleeves to help and really specialize it for every single woman that comes to see them.
So you joined us 3-4 years ago now. Sure. Almost 4. What does a community hospital, how does the community hospital tie into this need to help a community manage things like chronic conditions?
Sure.
I mean, what's the difference between that and, one of the big boxes out there?
Sure. So luckily we're small enough but big enough to make an impact. So we're
Gotcha.
Small enough to really listen
Gotcha.
to what's going on
Gotcha.
and really keep up with
what's personal style of medicine.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And really understand what's really happening and what's going on. So then we can pivot, whether it's different equipment or different, certifications that we need to be able to get to treat whatever's going on in the community.
Okay. So it's like going to the old style Ace Hardware where you had a guy that knew exactly the screw you needed. Sorry for those of you who don't have to go to hardware stores, versus going to Home Depot where all you see is this incredible shelving of every screw in the world and you don't know which one is the
overwhelming.
Right one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, Rhonda. This
Sure.
has been really informative. Thank you also being our Chief Nursing Officer. You make such a huge difference here at Oak Bend Medical Center.
I love it.
And thank you all for joining us today on another Cup of Joe, a conversation about healthcare topics. And we look forward to seeing you on another Cup of Joe soon. Thank you.